Well, thanks for having me on, Liam. It's great to be here with you. Why has the price fallen back? Well, a lot of it is because essentially when the problems in Ukraine started to escalate, the markets reacted quite reasonably by panicking. So the oil price rocketed because people were concerned about the future of Russian supply. But as the situation has developed, it's become more clear that oil from Russia is still making its way into the international system. And there have been efforts by the US and others to try to lobby other producing countries to increase their production to make up for any potential shortfall. And we're also seeing that industrial output in China is coming under a little bit of pressure at the moment because they're having a spike in their COVID rates. So a few factors coming together to take some of that inflationary pressure off crude prices at least.
Richard Hunter, it's hard to overstress, isn't it, how important the oil price is to the global economy. It's not just petrol and diesel for your car or van. It's the creation of plastics. It's all kinds of chemical processes. It's, oil and gas together may use fertilizer, massively important in the price of food. Thomas Warner touched on a really interesting point there. Yes, it's good news for an oil importer like the UK that the price is coming down, but that's partly because China is approaching an industrial go slow, the biggest energy exporter in the world, because they've had a spike in COVID.
They very much have had a spike, and more latterly, certainly in terms of over the last day or so, we've heard about the supply factors which are feeding into the dropping oil price. Now we're talking about demand. We've seen it across the mining sector in terms of other metals, where if you're going to get a situation where potentially the Chinese economy could even flatline in the first quarter, then clearly demand is going to go down. So yes,
so no growth at all in China potentially,
and that's another reason that the oil price has taken something of a dive today. Just to put it in context, however, even after today's fall, the Brent crude price remains up by about 28% in the year to date. So we're still much higher than where we were.
So from the beginning of January to now, Brent crude, that's the price of oil in this part of the world, because it's benchmarked off the Brent oil field in the North Sea, that's still up 28%. That sounds pretty inflationary to me.